Oh dear stars. Headless horseman. Where's my hat gone? Customers phone the other day. You're stretching the definition of phone real far there. What did they bring it in for? Like what? You work at a recycling center, right? Somebody didn't hand this to you and be like, hey, can you fix this? Fix what? There's nothing left. Just some minor cosmetic damage. I mean, yeah, you'll need cosmetic surgery after it explodes. Okay, I think it's just bent. I thought that silver area at the top was the battery expanded. I think that's the glass front of the device. I'm pretty sure there's a volume buttons on the right. Oh yeah, it's an iPad. Yeah, that's the Apple Pencil charging area. Yeah, they bend, so don't bend them. My computer seems fine. Just lag. Okay, this is what I was talking about. This is GPU. It's when your computer hallucinates for fun. Chances of this working? None, because you've opened it. There's actually a surprising amount of damage a hard drive can take, but once you like expose the platter to dirt and air and stuff, you're looking at surgical levels of recovery. And once you crack the platter at all, like it's pretty much impossible. I know you weren't actually asking, but my brain spat that out and it just came out of my mouth. So enjoy. Why come, wasn't expecting philosophy today. Why come my overclock not working? Your overclock not working because turn computer into toaster. What in the kind of shit? What are you doing to your computers? Stop. I feel like half the stuff I read nowadays, I'm just like, right, repair. We need to be able to take apart our devices and repair them. And then I turn around and somebody's like, I've taken apart my device. Maybe not. A soldering photo my friend sent me. I'm in pain. Oh my God. Functionally, solder is glue. That does not mean that you should treat it like, oh my God, treat it like this. What in the hell? What were you trying to do? Look, not everybody has the time, patience, energy, or skill for soldering. It took me a long time to get good at soldering, and then I started getting neurodegeneration in my hands. So my hands shake too much to solder now. But rather than try to solder anyway, I just accept that I can't solder stuff. And whenever I need something soldered, I just ask my wife because she has steadier hands. And if I didn't know what I was doing, I wouldn't pick up a giant hot iron and start melting metal onto computer stuff. Looks like a cybernetic roach laid a bunch of eggs. A very functional calculator. Functions may include being used as a blunt force weapon, or at least that's what the last guy did to it. My client thought the MacBook was a Lenovo Yoga Oh no! I'm not discounting the awesomeness of a MacBook that would be able to do like tent modes and tablet mode and things like that. But they don't currently offer that. They just want you to buy another device called an iPad. And I mean, any laptop can be put into tent mode, but only some can do it and still work. I have a monitor under my desk that I look several times a day. That you look at? I accidentally knocked my phone off the desk and it landed on it. And now the monitor can only communicate in barcode. I'm more confused as to why you have a monitor under your desk. I understand that you could have security cameras or something like that with a monitor under your desk that you need to look at, but it's much more fun to imagine that this post was just made by a really annoyed spy. How did the post office wow. If it sounds like I'm sick, I am. I feel great. How did the post office even manage this? Oh, it was shipped. Okay. I thought the post office was slamming GPUs into cases. Like, well, they probably managed that by not knowing what they were doing. But clearly they still managed to act like they know what they're doing. It was stuff that they do own, or things that they should be. The words. Also impressed that not only did they break off the entire slot, but there's actually like components from the main board that made it all the way off of there. Assuming this was in a retail box or something like that, and you didn't just like wrap a GPU in an envelope, this went through a lot of abuse. Like IBM mainframe torture testing levels of abuse. Go look up those videos. They're really cool. My old earbuds. Why do they look like medical devices? I'm not making fun of your earbuds. I'm sorry. They're very strangely shaped. Also, my God, what happened to the lightning adapter? What are you people doing to your headphones? Did I fry the GPU or what? Well, I'm not going to take or what off the table. Actually, it's vertical lines, which usually is indicative of a screen issue, not a GPU issue, and it's only on half of it. without going down a rabbit hole that's going to take me 2 hours to even understand, I'm going to say screen. I'm going to say the screen cracked and maybe something pushed on the center of it or the battery's pushing up. These are my guesses. I realized you weren't actually asking a question, but too bad. Found this laptop at work. I mean, it's an HP. They break themselves. This just looks like somebody helped it along. Help. Oh. How many levels have you gone down? I hesitate to make a diagnosis without seeing like actual movement on the screen, but I'm actually gonna go with GPU or GPU drivers here. Probably GPU drivers, because like I've blown a GPU in a laptop and it didn't give me recurring things. It artifacted the stuff it was already drawing, but now I am really interested to find out what the actual issue was. Absolutely decimated my BC PS3. I didn't know they had PS3s back then. CPU when I was trying to delit it to change the 20-year-old thermal paste. Oh. Yeah, I have a original, if BC means something I just don't know about, I have an original fat, like 40 gig PS3. It's not the one with the memory card slot, but it's everything else. It ran Linux. And this is why I haven't turned it on, because I've seen the process for thermal pasting it, and I don't want to. It's just, that just makes me upset. Is this condensation expected in a laptop? Well, I can answer your question by looking in the post. No condensation is expected in a laptop. I don't know what the frack that is, but no, it shouldn't. What in the hell? Layout looks a lot like a Zephyrus, but no, what? I think oil or something got in there and stuff sticking to the oil? What in the? I genuinely don't know what's going on here, but it ain't right, and it's not from the factory. Phone screen died. Your phone screen died, went to heaven, and started a rave. But yeah, that's what when you get impacts, you'll get those vertical lines, which are more indicative of the signal not getting to the screen fully. This is just me convincing myself that earlier GPU one was correct. My phone is really messed up. Is it on? Or did you get paint, or is it inside? What did you do to it? Also, I miss notification LEDs. It's so stupid that we don't have them still. Pillows. No. My dad's phone overheated and almost exploded. Lordy. I've lost count of all the Samsung phones because they've started to all look the same. But the triple camera array looks really close to the Note 10, and that kind of concerns me. Some wise guy thought a USB drive was where screwdrivers went. I'm sorry. Let me read that sentence again, because I don't think I read it correctly. Some wise guy thought a USB drive was where screwdrivers went. Where screwdrivers went for what? Stuck a flathead screwdriver in the port. All right, so I have a relative with a lot of farmland and a backhoe. So when you find that guy, let me know and I can help. I accidentally pulled apart a DVD. As long as the DVD is not important to you, this is actually really fascinating and something that if you have a BS DVD or something like that, it's kind of fun to do. I'm a fan of taking apart e-waste before you recycle it, because you just get a better appreciation for all of the engineering that goes into super simple things. However, this was SpongeBob, so it was important. So don't do this again. This happens only at higher refresh rates, and it'll go away after a little while. Whoa. Wait, how much of that is your background? Okay, only so. Okay, all right, I see the horizontal lines. Yeah, I see the cross stuff. I thought it was generating all of that. I was like, man, this is like some video synthesis level of wild. But this is closer to what I was talking about with GPU things. You'll notice there's not just vertical, you got horizontal artifacting as well. I don't know the ins and outs of GPUs as well, but I'm just like from experience, what I have seen that has led to replace this part and see if it fixes it. And it might even be covered under warranty. You can also try just like cooling it down and seeing if that helps at all. Real pain. Oh, wow. Oh, it's off and it's showing that. Oh, and those things are undeservedly expensive. Really red, really dead redemption. Oh, I'm so sorry for... Oh, it's on PC. There's an enter key or select. So I'm very sorry for you, GPU. That's a GPU issue, unless there's just like a signal problem with your cable. But yeah, what am I talking about? The signal cable is digital. It wouldn't even show that. That wouldn't even be the problem. I'm so sorry. Removed the one rubber thing because it had shifted. When I ripped it off, it completely ripped these screws out the thread. Look, I know it's Reddit, but can you add the rest of the words to the sentence, please? Wait. So they glued the screws to the foot so that you couldn't take the laptop apart? That's some weird, scummy stuff. That's some like back alley refurb shop kind of crap. Wow. Also, don't take the feet off your laptops. Just don't. This counts as gore, right? I mean, r/spicy pillows be a better fit, but yeah, no, this counts. It makes me sad and furious. So yeah, it counts as gore. I am an actual hardware gore detector. After a good night's sleep, where did you buy that? I found this in my living room. Destroyed. Well, $12.99 down the drain. Okay, I don't know what actually happened, but the way that you phrased that made it sound like you slept. Therefore, your tablet, I think it's a tablet, exploded. What happened? There's clearly an impact to the screen, but there's like no other context. I have no idea what's going on. It looks like a 2:3 ratio, so I'm assuming this is an iPad. 3:2, technically. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Never been took apart. Screen just came off after 7 months. Oh no, that's wild. Yeah, a lot of phones they have like a glue on them that you literally have to heat up to remove. So theoretically, if you leave your phone in the sunlight or something like that for long enough, you can get it hot enough to soften the glue. Or if it's not applied correctly to begin with, in the case of like a refurb or something like that. Wild. Working 16-core, $450 CPU. I don't like this planet anymore. The motherboard my little sister played with. Okay, to be fair, this is not exactly like an expensive sock looking thing. So like if you're handing a board like this to a kid, expect it to be destroyed. Still a little bit painful, but I learned a lot about just very basic computer stuff by playing with stuff we got from the Radio Shack outlet and from like stuff my dad's work would throw out or my school was throwing out computers in like 3rd grade, and I just took one of them and took it home and took it all apart and found a hard drive. And I think I broke like a RAM clip or something. I know I broke a parallel port clip trying to get stuff out of like I'm sure I broke all sorts of stuff, but that's kind of how you learn stuff. Solder state drive. It's solid state drive. That's the actual term. Yep, that's toast. That's toast. I mean, you can. I'm not sure if these little wispy things are you trying to build a SATA connection? Why is it on top of an iPhone? So many questions. Controller has stick drift. How do I repair it? Did you drift it into the fracking sun? I really like puzzles, and there's something called a ghost cube, which is basically a shape-shifting 3x3 Rubik's Cube, but all the parts look very similar and they're all the same colors, so it looks weird. But it looks like this when it's scrambled. You can look it up. Just look Ghost Cube. It looks exactly like this controller. Nah, it'll still boot up just fine. But what will boot up just fine? This is a rusted piece of metal. You can't hold scrap in front of me and tell me you're gonna boot off of it. Don't touch the top of a stove to a Steam Deck. This is just solid technical advice. Yeah, that'll happen. Why? I have so many. How did it get there? What? For Steam Deck. Also, careful that battery. Bottom right-hand corner. In case the person's watching this, just be careful. See, I don't know. I was just always raised that every stove is just on. Like, you just treat it like it's on. So you don't put like pizza boxes or stuff like that on the stove. Anything that you put on top of the stove will be on fire. Like that, that's the mentality you go through. So I still struggle to figure out like how you would put something on the stove and not expect it to. Yeah, the tendrils of liquid crystal. No, that's an invasion of tentacles. You're gonna need a Necronomicon. Bent charging cube. Yeah, I had one of these under my couch, and I just had cables coming up through the front of the couch so that my wife and I could just plug our phones in. The entire front of it just fell off. Like, it was one plate like this, slightly longer, and then had 3 USB ports on the back, and the whole front just fell off. On the inside was like braided core, super thin wire with 120 volts just hanging out under our couch, where like lint is, also known as fire starter. It was great. It was great. I love having heart attacks when I'm cleaning under my couch. My friend's computer that he's still using. Well, the hinge isn't bad. I mean, if you're running it in clamshell, oh, never mind. I was about to say, I was like, using laptops in clamshell modes that have broken screen is actually a great way to like save money or have like a secondary server or something like that if you want to play around with something. No, if you're like actually using this. Like, I know the frame's missing too. What happened? And the keyboard just like, I understand money can be tight sometimes. Like I have been in situations where I've had $2 in my bank account. But like grabbing a paper towel from a restroom and like just a little bit of water, turning a laptop off, unplugging it, and just like wiping the thing down, that genuinely doesn't cost money. Like you can find a restroom that has paper towels. Like you can start there. I understand not being able to afford to have, to fix broken crap, and it's disgusting. Like, come on, treat your stuff better. What do y'all think about my DSi? I think it's broken. Very broken. Did you put something like inside and then close it? DSi is next on my list of like gathering every game console ever. Partially because I've been obsessed with the entire Kirby just back collection and I've played through most of them on 3DS and I'm now just like continuing my conquest into the past. It would seem I fracked up, and that was the moment he knew that he's missing capacitors. How did you bite it? Bite it with tiny little needle teeth? What were you aiming to do? Like if you're looking to remove a capacitor, you would be applying heat to the ends, not the middle, unless you blew. Oh, I don't think you were desoldering this. I think you just like applied the wrong voltage to it and it just exploded. I think that might be what they're illustrating here. I'm sorry. Good luck fixing whatever it is you've broken. I remembered it had some display issues, but I fired it up today, and the screen is absolute toast. Well, that just looks like a broken screen. I wanted like some sort of super toast. There's like regular toast, there's Texas toast, and then there's absolute toast. The customer asked me, would this work? Look, there's no such thing as a stupid, there's one such thing as a stupid question. If an electrical plug has two prongs typically, and you only see one, and the other one is just the charred void, and your immediate response isn't, oh, I shouldn't use that. I want to see inside your head because I feel like you don't worry about nearly as many things as I do. And it must be nice to be that blissfully ignorant. It's like people that don't wear helmets when they ride bikes. Like, have you seen how little head damage it takes for people to have like permanent problems and face difficulties the rest of their lives? And like, it's worth it to not wear a helmet because I can't even find a reason to like not wear a helmet. It's just like, I don't want to wear this hat. Yeah. Found this laptop at school. Where is the, you're showing me again a pile of scrap. I'm not seeing a laptop. I'm being facetious. But there really is not that much left of it. I mean, it is already in a garbage. Nobody's pretending this still works. Like nobody's still using it like the other guy. My brand new monitor decided to do this. No. Ah, the chromatic aberration between like the letters is actually really cool. This is one I really want to play with. I would like set it up to a faster refresh rate, change the resolution, apply heat to it in various, like just see like how wild you can get it. Outside of the fact that you actually paid money for it. Like I'm coming at this from like an artistic creative perspective. The screen burn on this TV screen at Aldi. Yeah, it'll do that. Those are probably plasma. Plasma was really popular before OLED. And like mini LED and stuff like that came along. And plasma looks fantastic, but it burned real bad. And they were hot, they required fans for the industrial ones. Industrial displays still often have fans just to prolong life, but like plasma needed it. But yeah, you'll see them in a lot of airports, especially old, like that weird point where everyone is using plasma displays. They'll have like the departures board and the top will just be burned in like the rows and columns for flights are just a permanent grid. Just 2 pics from when I was a computer technician. Computer science, oh, sorry. Customer states, I'm not used to that. And like, I've worked help desk and I work with help desk techs now and like, nobody says customer states. PC won't boot. Oh, I can't imagine why. Not like you cracked the CPU or something. Wait, what? Did you not? Oh, no. Okay, so there's a little tiny plastic socket. I'm not sure exactly what happened here because, again, zero context. There's a little plastic socket protector that usually ships with a motherboard. And it usually does have a bunch of holes in it if you have like the what is it, the AMD sockets with the pins that face up. You take that out and then you put the CPU in because it protects the pins during shipping and while you're screwing the motherboard into the stuff and running cables. That's like the last thing you take off before you put the CPU. If you don't put if you don't take it out and you just apply the CPU into the protector, you're just shoving your brand new CPU into a motherboard that still has a thing that prevents it from making it connect. If you have to force it, you're doing it wrong. I'm surprised they didn't hear that. They would have had to have heard that crack. Oh my God. Candle wax covered iPad on eBay. That does not look like candle wax. However, I'm glad they said it's candle wax. it still raises more uncomfortable questions than it answers. Look, I don't know. I don't want to know. I don't care. But don't sell it on eBay afterwards.